Jadov is back at it here to give everyone another Walking Dead related video as the final season of The Walking Dead Season 11, is set to premiere on Sunday, August 22nd or August 15th if you have AMC Plus, which I do. And I wanted to rank my all-time top 25 favorite characters that have been on the main Walking Dead show. I've already done my top 10 favorite current characters on The Walking Dead going into Season 11. And I've already done my top 25 all-time favorite episodes of The Walking Dead going into Season 11. But I wanted to rank my favorite characters. These are only characters that have been on the main Walking Dead show. So if you're looking for a character that has just been on World Beyond or has just been on Fear the Walking Dead, they had to have been on the main Walking Dead show to make this list. And I will probably re-rank my favorite characters of Fear the Walking Dead because we just got done with a great season of Fear the Walking Dead and it's time to update that list. And here's a couple things you should know before I continue. These aren't necessarily going to be the 25 best characters that have been on The Walking Dead, as we are going to disagree. Did you think we were going to agree? There are characters that a lot of people absolutely love that I secretly hope they die at any point. It's true. And that's how I am. These are going to be my favorite characters. So if you have a list of your own, go ahead and leave that in the comments section. You don't necessarily have to do 25. You can do top 5, top 10. Top 10 is great. If you want to do more, perfect. If you want to do 25, awesome. And if you're a fan of The Walking Dead and you love this series and are sad to see it go, make sure you smash that like button. We got 24 more episodes coming, though, so they should be a pretty awesome 24 more episodes coming, I hope. Angela Kang's done a good job so far, so I have confidence in Angela Kang and Scott M. Gimple overseeing everything. So there's that. And another thing you should know about, there may be spoilers, depending on which character I talk about. I might talk about something that led to their demise, so if you're not caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching Walking Dead, which is all the way through Season 10, ready to go for Season 11, then I highly suggest that you don't watch this video any further just to avoid any potential spoilers. Let's give a couple of honorable mentions, because there's always honorable mentions, right? People that, if I would have added 10 more spots, would have most likely, not for sure, but most likely made my list. Morales. I liked Morales. I know he wasn't hardly on the show, but the character was good when he was on the show in Season 1, and then he just disappeared for a long-ass time. They even reported him dead at one point in time, and then he said, no, not dead, and then he showed back up in Season 8 of The Walking Dead. And then killed off in the very next episode. But for when he was on the show, I really liked Morales. And Morales' character was like a fan favorite because of his disappearance on The Walking Dead. So, I don't know how many more spots I would have had to put him on here. But I think if I did a top 30 list, he might be number 30. It's possible. Simon. Stephen Ogg played Simon great. He was just as funny as Negan. Maybe not as intimidating, although he was more like friendly, it seems. But I just enjoyed Simon as a character on The Walking Dead. I wish he would have had a little bit more time on The Walking Dead. It's unfortunate they decided to kill him off in, was it Season 8 that he did? Yeah, Season 8. But I did enjoy, no, was it Season, yeah, it was Season 8. My brain is not working right now, it seems like. Already, early on in this video, not good. No, I'll be fine. But Simon, great. It would have been nice if he would have survived until the Whisper War, but I guess that would be a awfully long time for him to last. Martinez. I'm sure if I would have added 2 more spots, I think Martinez would have probably been number 7. And at one point, I've redone this list about 4 times in the past 24 hours. I had Martinez in the top 25. Do you not remember who Martinez was? He was, at one point in time, the governor's right-hand man. Shortly after he Merle left the Woodbury, or right before Merle left Woodbury, he kind of showed up, and then he gradually got more time. But I enjoyed Martinez. It sucks that the governor killed him, because I think he could have joined Rick's group and been a long-term member on Rick's group, and that's my opinion on that. Rosita. I have a love-hate relationship with Rosita. There are times where I really like her, and then there's times where I'm really annoyed with her. And then sometimes they just kind of push her character to the background with obvious things that are going on with the actress, Kristen Serrano, such as, being in their film or being on another TV show or having a kid and being pregnant or whatever the case may be. But I do like Rosita. just not enough to include her in the top 25. But I will say, at one point, she was on this list within 24 hours, but I had to make some changes. And I actually re-recorded this video because I forgot one person that I can't believe. I'll allude to that once they come up. I can't believe I forgot one person. So I had to re-record this thing to add this person into the video. Richard. Yes, that was Ezekiel's right-hand man. He wasn't in very many episodes, but he was awesome. He's the reason why Benjamin died, and then Morgan killed Richard because he was mad and had to go into clear mode again. But I liked Richard. He didn't get a lot of time, but he was an interesting character. Carl. Yes, I said Carl. Carl, kind of like Rosita. There's a love-hate relationship there. I hated Carl the first 2 seasons of The Walking Dead. I absolutely can't stand Carl, the first 2 seasons at least. Season 3, he got a lot better. Season 4, he was good. He fell off again at points during Season 7 and Season 8. But for the most part, Carl was a good character. He's just not one of my favorites. What can I say? Jessie. That was Rick's girlfriend in between Lori and Michonne. She didn't have a lot of time on the show. She was played by Alexandra Breckenridge, who I actually really liked. I wish they would have kept her along more. She had annoying kids, especially one that really liked cookies. Sam, the cookie monster that Carol said was going to get eaten by monsters, and then he kind of did. But I like Jessie. Again, she wasn't on the show long, but I enjoyed her character. And again, I don't know how many more spots I would have had to add these characters, but I'm just naming some that I contemplated at one point in time. Tyrese. Tyrese started on The Walking Dead really good. And then Season 4 and 5, I felt Tyrese really fell off as a character. So, unfortunately, he doesn't make the list, but I did like Tyrese initially when he was on the show. And then the last honorable mention will be Lizzie. That is the one that Carol said, look at the flowers, Lizzie. She was a little batshit crazy. She liked to kill rats, but she was fun. She was an interesting element on The Walking Dead and somebody that I think could have been on the show for the long term. So those are the honorable mentions. Let's start my top 25 favorite characters of The Walking Dead currently of all time. Number 25, Lydia. Lydia wasn't on this list at one point in time, but Lydia as a character really started to improve in Season 10 of The Walking Dead. Didn't like her at first, but halfway through Season 10, she started to get on my good graces and did just enough to sneak into the top 25. Especially in Season 10, Episode 16, A Certain Doom, with what she did with Carol, how Carol was going to commit suicide, essentially, and then she grabbed Carol, pulled her aside by the rock, and then threw the mask off, and it was just awesome. I really liked Lydia at that point in time. Enough for me to include her in my favorite characters list. So, Lydia, number 25. Number 24, a character that's been on the show since Season 4, an awesome character. Sometimes you hate this character, depending on who he's trying to get to protect him at the time. Eugene. When Eugene joined the Saviors, I hated Eugene. But other than that, other than those moments, Eugene is awesome. He says funny things. The time in Season 6, No Way Out, Season 6, Episode 9, where everybody's getting ready to go out there and fight and make a stand with Rick. I think that was the point in time. At some point, it's something they were going to go out and fight. And Eugene starts like getting dressed or doing something, and it was either Tara or Rosita saying, "What are you doing?" Well, I do believe everybody there's going to be a story told, and nobody sits out tonight or something like that. It was really funny, and I just like Eugene. Not a big fan of the stuff with Stephanie at stuff that will probably be at the Commonwealth. I would have liked to seen Eugene, at least for the brief moment, actually end up with Rosita, but it is what it is. But Eugene is my number 24. Number 23, a character that's been on the show since Season 5. I'm talking about Aaron. Aaron has actually developed quite a bit as a character, especially with his new hand, the spiked ball hand. I don't know what that's called. Is it called? I'm not going to even look it up. But Aaron is one awesome character, one awesome badass. It sucks that he doesn't have somebody to share Gracie with. He doesn't have Aaron anymore. He doesn't have, no, not Aaron, doesn't have Eric anymore. Lost Jesus relatively quick. I think that was kind of a curveball that Tom Payne, the actor that played Jesus, didn't want to be on the show anymore. So they had to take a potential boyfriend away from Aaron. But without that said, Aaron is awesome, and I really like this character. Although the stuff they threw out there with him in the ocean side didn't make any bit of sense at all to me. I was annoyed with that, and that's why Season 8, well, I have issues with Season 8. But other than that, Aaron, my number 23. Number 22, a character that's been with The Walking Dead since Season 7, that would be Jerry. Everybody likes Jerry, and surprisingly, I do too. I find Jerry entertaining. He says funny stuff. He's very devoted to King Ezekiel, or I guess Ezekiel right now. He has Navila. He has a bunch of kids, which is not necessarily a good thing in the zombie apocalypse. But Jerry is awesome. The touching moment in Season 10 where him and Ezekiel hug. Hopefully, none of those characters die. I don't see Jerry dying in the final season of The Walking Dead. I could be wrong, but Jerry is just so likable as a character, and he's kind of a badass, too. Sometimes he has trouble fitting through things, but hey, us big guys, that's what happens. It comes with the package. Number 21, a character that a lot of people probably wouldn't have in their top 25 list. Again, this is my top 25 list of all time, so I'm going to include weird characters, and that would be Enid, who's been on The Walking Dead since Season 5. Enid just grew on me a lot. Moment by moment, she made Carl interesting. She was supposed to still be with Carl, had issues and stuff happen on the show where Chandler Riggs left the show. But I liked Enid as a character, especially like when she became more useful, when she became quote unquote a doctor and had like more to do on the show. It was very sad in Season 9, Episode 15, the calm before, where they decided to cut Enid's head off. I was very sad with all the people that were in that Pike lineup. I was the most sad about Enid. Tara, Henry, Tammy, the Highwaymen guys, Rodney, Addie, Frankie, none of them affected me, but Enid, I was I didn't cry or anything. I haven't done that yet, but I was upset that Enid was killed off The Walking Dead. I think she could have done a lot more and been a lot more useful. In fact, she was young, so she didn't get paid that much. They could have kept her around, but Enid, number 21, and I'm going to stand by that. Number 20, a character that's been on The Walking Dead since Season 7, and that would be Ezekiel. I really like Carrie Payton as an actor. I think he really gets into the role as Ezekiel, and it just shows. He really has fun with it. Now, they kind of hinted that Ezekiel was going to die at points in time with the thyroid cancer. I think he's going to get past that. He may die by another means, but I hope Ezekiel stays on The Walking Dead. He needs more to do right now, and he doesn't have the best relationships. Like Carol's relationship didn't work out. Shiva's not around anymore, and it would be nice if Ezekiel had somebody. Henry, of course, was, one of the Pike victims. But I enjoyed I enjoyed Ezekiel as a character, and I still enjoy him. He's awesome, and he needs more to do. He needs to become more important again, and I think that'll happen, especially at the Commonwealth. Or they'll kill him off. It is what it is. Number 19, a character that's been on The Walking Dead since Season 6, Jesus. Jesus should still be around on The Walking Dead. It sucks that they killed him off. Again, I alluded to when I talked about Aaron. Tom Payne, the actor, was upset with the direction of his character, the lack of stuff that he had to do, so he wanted off the show. So, of course, they killed him off to oblige him. When he died, that moment where he's killing random walkers, and all of a sudden he goes to, hit the walker with the sword, and the walker ducks, and you're like, what the fuck? That was an awesome moment in The Walking Dead. I actually didn't expect that to happen, but I knew he was probably going to die. I just didn't know when, and that was an unexpected moment. But Jesus, another person that was kind of I don't know. I'm not going to get into that right now, but Jesus is awesome, and moral compass people don't tend to last long on The Walking Dead, and there's a prime example. So Jesus, number 19. Number 18, we don't know when this character is going to come back. I hope this character comes back for the final season of The Walking Dead, at least a cameo or even one episode at the end, and that would be Michonne. Michonne grew on me. At first, she was annoying, in my opinion, but I really started liking Michonne, and she's awesome and a badass, of course. The actress, Denai improved a lot, in my opinion. When she's on different shows, went back in the day, like Talking Dead and all that, all she do is ramble, 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 but I see why. She's become quite popular in Hollywood with her appearance in the MCU movies, but Michonne is awesome. I wish they would have kept one of her friends around, Andrea. We'll talk about that one a little later, spoiler alert. But I enjoyed Michonne. I like the fact that she took in Judith as her own, and that's awesome. And it seems like they have a really strong bond. You could argue more of a stronger bond than anybody else. So Michonne, number 18. And I hope Michonne shows up in the final season of Walking Dead. And not just a cameo, but maybe the final episode or final part, because it's going to be 3 parts. That would be awesome. Number 17. This is the character that when I recorded this video yesterday, I had completely forgot. This character is number 2 in my top 10 current characters on The Walking Dead. But yesterday, when I recorded this character was not on the list, and I had to re-record it to include Judith. Yes, how could I forget about Judith? I don't know, but I'm really a big fan of Judith. She is awesome. Her relationship with Negan is one of the best things on The Walking Dead. She's kind of a badass. She sucked at first, but once Kaylee Fleming took over the role as Judith in season 9, episode 5, or well, at the end of season 9, episode 5, she's great. I hope that she meets Rick. This person playing Judith meets Rick. Hopefully that will happen in the final season. We don't know. Probably not, but hopefully she makes her way to the Rick movies then. I hope it happens, but as it stands right now, Judith is awesome. And her, stuff she says to Negan when he got out, when she tells him language and all that, hilarious. Love Judith. That's why she's my number 17. Number 16, a character that hasn't been on The Walking Dead since season 3. One of the OG characters, and you gotta love those OG characters. As I rewatched The Walking Dead recently, all the episodes, I grew to appreciate this character even more, and that would be TDog. He didn't get enough to do on The Walking Dead. He easily could have still been on the show, or at least lasted 3 or 4 more seasons. He could have been somebody that would have been a Negan victim in the lineup with Lucille. Probably not that, but I think T-Dog is one of the best characters, most underrated characters on The Walking Dead. And if it wasn't for T-Dog, Carol wouldn't be around right now, because he saved Carol's ass. And he was actually a pretty good fighter. He got an infection in his arm one point in time, but he was awesome, and I really like T-Dog. The actor, Irony Singleton, I've liked him in other movies that he's been, like The Blind Side. He has a scene with Sandra Bullock that's really funny. I don't remember exactly what it said, but she said something to him like, I'm a card carrying man or the NRA bitch, and something like that. But anyway, love T-Dog. Grew to appreciate him more, and that's why he's my number 16. It's time for the top 15 favorite characters. Number 15, a character that wasn't in the show very long, but the impact he had, it will live forever, and that would be Beta. I enjoyed Beta as a character. I thought he was menacing. I thought he was good. Ryan Hurst, I think, did a phenomenal job. I knew about Beta from the comic books. I knew what he was. You basically wanted The Undertaker to play Beta. Ryan Hurst did awesome. He was intimidating. That episode where he showed up at Alexandria from the grave and started going Michael Myers on people, that really reminded me of Halloween, and he did a great job. Okay, the stuff with him hearing the Whisperers actually talk when they weren't really talking was kind of kooky, but he was an awesome villain. Very good henchman, and I actually thought, because he wasn't killing members of our group until Laura, I thought that Beta would eventually somehow, some way join the group. But he didn't. Daryl killed him, with the help of Negan, kind of. But Beta, you can't. He was one of the best villains on The Walking Dead. It really is. Not that bad of a villain, though. But you got to consider him a villain, and that's why he's my number 15. Number 14, a character that had one of the biggest turnarounds, but not the biggest turnaround, Carol. Carol is great, especially Season 5, Episode 1, No Sanctuary, where Carol saves the day from the cannibals of Terminus. But Carol has done so much on The Walking Dead to make her character so much of a badass. You can't fuck with Carol. Season 6, Episode number 2, JSS, another example of Carol being an ass kicker. And now Carol has more of a moral conscience on the show, but she loses it sometimes when she doesn't need it. But Carol's awesome. Now, the stuff with Daryl, I think it's kind of annoying. If they're not going to be together, stop having them hang out so much. I want either Carol and Daryl to get into a relationship or them to kind of back off. But we know of the supposed spin-off show that's going to happen after The Walking Dead, the Carol and Daryl show. I think that's bullshit. I think one of Carol or Daryl will die in the final season of Walking Dead, and there's not going to be a Carol and Daryl spin-off show. There probably will be one because they want to milk them characters for all they're worth, but it just would be nice if something wasn't so obvious. Oh my God, we just killed off Carol and Daryl. What the hell happened there? Obviously, I don't want Carol to die. I love Carol as a character. But the stuff with Daryl is really annoying. So Carol, number 14. Number 13, a character that I alluded to that I really liked, that was Michonne's friend, Andrea. Andrea was on the show for the first 3 seasons of The Walking Dead. She was supposed to be having a much bigger role in The Walking Dead, ending up with Rick eventually, but didn't. Glenn Mazzaro, the showrunner for season 3, for some reason didn't like Laurie Holden and decided to kill her off, but she had a great season aside from the fact that she died, and it was very sad. I liked Andrea. I wish her and Shane, when they were talking about leaving, would have just left. That way, it left the door open for them to come back, but didn't work out that way. But I liked Andrea as a character, and she will always be memorable. I know some people don't like Andrea. A lot of the fan base seems to not like her. I do. That's why she's my number 13. Number 12, one of the best characters of The Walking Dead. Even though he was kind of a racist redneck, he was hilarious. I don't know why, but Merle. I miss Merle. He was he was only on the show for a brief number of episodes. One episode in a couple episodes in season 1, one episode in season 2, and I don't know, 10 or more in season 3. But Merle was awesome. I hope he's in another episode very soon. He should at least be a hallucination in some kind of Daryl dream or something like that. If Daryl's going to die, which we all know probably won't happen, but okay, I admit it. I don't like Daryl. He's grown on me more since Rick and everybody's left the show. But as it stands, Daryl is not one of my favorites, although with the lack of characters on the show right now, he's in my top 10, but barely. But top 25, I'm sorry if you're looking for Daryl. He's not going to be on there. But Merle definitely is. He's funny. He's got heart. I like the fact that Hershel said, well, we could use him for his military skills. Merle, number 12. Number 11, the character on The Walking Dead that I think has had the biggest turnaround as a character. It's not Carol. Carol is a close second, but Gabriel. Gabriel was annoying as shit when he was first on The Walking Dead. I remember JSS, Season 6, Episode 2, when Gabriel, I think, was being attacked by wolves. It might have been walkers. But he was on the ground. He looked like he might have been getting eaten up or about to be eaten up or stabbed up or something like that. And Morgan stops as he's with Carol. He's going to go rescue him. And Carol's like, just leave him. Morgan, of course, was in his kick of all life is precious, so he goes to help Gabriel. And it's a good thing he did, because from that moment on, Gabriel started stepping up as a character. Season 6, Episode 12, Not Tomorrow Yet. He kills somebody with a shotgun. He's a badass. And then, of course, flash forwarding to Season 10, Episode 16, A Certain Doom. Gabriel tells Judith to go with Rachel and Scott. Gabriel cocks the shotgun. Whispers start coming in. He shoots a couple. Gets put to the ground. Gabriel's about to be killed. I almost was about ready to cry. Well, I felt really sad. We'll say that. And then the character we know now is Elijah and Maggie show up and save the day. But Gabriel, man, if anybody from The Walking Dead is actually watching this, I know they pretty much filmed at least the first part of the season 11. I don't know how far they are, although do not kill Father Gabriel off. Leave him on the show. He's awesome. He's a good character, and I like him. So that's why Gabriel is my number 11. It is time now for the top 10 favorite characters on The Walking Dead. Number 10, a character that hasn't been on the show since season 4, although he had a brief cameo in season 5. I hope he's in the Rick movie. I hope he at least makes some sort of hallucination dream sequence in season 11. Probably won't, but who knows. I'm talking about the governor. David Morrissey played this character very well. It's not like the governor from the comic book. If I had to guess a character that, or an actor that would play the governor, based on the character from the comic books, it might be somebody like Danny Trejo. That's how the governor is in the comic books. This governor was a lot different. but he was awesome. He was actually a good character, and a lot of people don't like the governor episodes, like season 4, episode 5, no, season 4, episode 6 and 7. I like them. I like the governor as a character. I think he carried episodes. I know the fans really didn't like him in solo episodes, but he is one of the most favorite characters on The Walking Dead, and I enjoyed him. I wish they would have kept him around for maybe another season. You know, they could have had him go away and then make sporadic appearances until a big battle ensued. But it is what it is. The governor's still one of my favorite characters, and that's why he's number 10. And he most likely won't get out of the top 10. These top 10, I really thought about. Number 9, a character that left the show for a little while but came back. She's been on the show since season 2. We know who I'm talking about now. Maggie. Maggie was really awesome to begin with. Now, at times, her and Glenn's relationship I thought was getting a little stale. At times. But then the Negan incident happened with Glenn dying, which was really sad. But it was still funny at times. Negan was funny and vicious in the same scene. It was weird. But I really like Maggie. I feel like she's more of a lead on the show than Daryl and Carol, even though they've been on the show the longest. In my opinion, the two leads right now on The Walking Dead, if nobody else comes back, are Negan and Maggie. They carry the show. They're the most important part of the show. Daryl and Carol are kind of like the cool side characters, in my opinion. That's how I see it. But Maggie is awesome. I expect a lot of things from her in season 10, and I hear it's pretty awesome and pretty focused on Maggie in the first part of season. Did I say season 10? I meant season 11 if I said season 10. I expect a lot from her in season 11, especially part 1, because there's supposed to be 3 parts. It's supposed to be a lot of Maggie and a lot of interesting developments. So, Maggie, my number 9. Number 8, a character that we haven't seen. Well, we saw a brief appearance from this person in season 9, but he was unfortunately killed in season 4. And then the actor unfortunately died as season 9 had aired. The premiere of season 9, I believe, the day. But Hershel. Rest in peace, Scott Wilson. He was awesome. Now, I didn't like Hershel in season 2 at all. For the first 15 episodes, or however many he was on, I didn't like him. Then there was the season 2 finale, 15 episodes. That's not right, because season 2 is only 13 episodes. So it'd be like the first 12 episodes. And I don't even think he was in the first episode. But once season 2, episode 13, Beside the Dying Fire aired, I started liking Hershel. Hershel was kind of staying at his farm. He wouldn't leave. He had his unlimited shotgun shells. He was shooting walkers, and Rick's like, Hershel, we gotta go. It's my farm, damn it. Hershel, we gotta go. Somehow Rick convinces Hershel to go with him and Carl, and that's the moment I started liking Hershel for that one episode. And then, of course, Hershel became cool, grew the beard, and was at the prison. It sucked that he got bit in season 3, episode 1, Seed. Really scared about that, but Rick had some quick thinking and cut his ankle off, so Hershel was fine. And then there's that episode in season 3 where everybody's kind of out in the yard, and sorry, my nose itches, and all of a sudden the governor has an attack on the prison, and Hershel's out there, Axel gets shot, Carol's out there hiding behind Axel's body. That was an intense moment, because I'm like, there's no way Hershel's going to get away with one good leg and crutches, but somehow, some way, thanks to Michonne, he survived, or was it Glenn, or both, I don't remember. But Hershel's awesome. I miss Hershel a lot. It's unfortunate that the governor decided to decapitate Hershel. He was a great character, and it's sad that we lost Scott Wilson. Rest in peace again, Scott Wilson. Hershel was awesome, and yeah, I don't know anybody that doesn't like Hershel. Well, at least after season 2. So Hershel, my number 8. Number 7, a character that I wish was still on The Walking Dead. I thought this character was taken away too early from us. I thought there was a lot more that you could have explored with this character. One of the characters that was more of a comic relief, and some reason my nose is really getting stuffy. I'm not sure what that is, but my apologies. I'm not on cocaine or anything like that. Just my nose is really itchy and tickly right now. But Abraham. I'm not mad at Negan for killing Abraham. I just thought that Abraham died too early. Now, I know in the comic books he was the death that Dwight shot the arrow through, but I think Abraham could have still been on The Walking Dead. There was a lot more you could have done with Abraham as a character on The Walking Dead. I like the fact that he got... Bear with me here. That feels a little bit better. I like the fact that in his final... Well, it wasn't actually his final episode, but it was they did a flashback. But so he gets hit with Lucille, and then he's still alive. And Negan's like, "You just took one hell of a hit." Or I think he said that to both of them, Abraham and Glenn. But Abraham tells Negan to suck his nuts as his last words. And then, of course, Negan goes crazy on Abraham's head. But Abraham was such a good character. I didn't like the fact that he put on that ridiculous-looking suit in season 6. But they could have done a lot more with him and Sasha. It sucks. But Abraham, he's going to be still in my top 10 at number 7. Number 6, a lot of people's favorite character on The Walking Dead, or I'd say a pretty big percentage of the fan base really likes this character. We lost him in 701, same as Abraham. Glenn, we miss you, man. I hope Glenn at some point does make another appearance in The Walking Dead. Obviously, it's going to have to be a hallucination sequence. Maybe it could be something that Maggie dreams up, or maybe Negan has a hallucination about Glenn. Something like that, but he's got to be back in the Walking Dead series. I know he's on what's that thing called? I hate when my brain just goes dead when I should know this. The other show by Robert Kirkman that's an animated show on Amazon. I haven't watched it yet. It's been recommended to me, but I miss Glenn. He was good. I think it was the right time to die for Glenn because I think he already had enough in The Walking Dead. But Invincible, by the way, was the show with Stephen Yeun. That's on Amazon. See, I think of things. It just takes me a couple seconds. I think Glenn kind of already did as much as he could do as a character, but it would have been nice if he would have actually met, baby Hershel. But it is what it is. Glenn was awesome. The fake out death. Oh, when I mentioned Enid, one of the reasons why I started liking Enid was the way that she kind of saved Glenn in season 6. Always Accountable or Thank You, whatever one that happened on, and help Glenn get from under the dumpster and all the walkers to get away. That's one reason why I liked Enid. I didn't mention that. I forgot about it, but I did now. But Glenn, awesome character, the heart of the show. A lot of people miss him, and that's why people don't watch The Walking Dead, because Glenn's gone, but he's my number 6. Top 5, baby. Number 5. This is going to surprise a lot of people. Rick Grimes. A lot of people would put Rick Grimes top 3 or even top 2. Most would put him number 1. I've got him number 5. He left the show. That's one reason why he's number 1. And I think Rick leaving the show might have been a good thing for The Walking Dead because I think it focused way too much on Rick and it focuses too much on Daryl in my opinion. And but Rick as an actor, Andrew Lincoln, I think he got progressively better. At first, he wasn't that good on the show, in my opinion, but he got better, especially when he went to Crazy Rick. Here's the nose thing again. This is really getting annoying. I liked him as a character, though. He was awesome. I wish the fight with him and Negan, or the altercation with him and Negan, would have been a lot more epic, because it really wasn't. It was really toned down from what I thought it was going to be, especially after 701, The Day Will Come When You Won't Be, when Negan breaks Rick, kills 2 of his friends, says that he's going to cut his boy's arm off. Like, Rick should be tormented and want, like, super big revenge. And their fight scenes, like in the mid-season finale, and then the season finale. Well, actually, it wasn't the mid-season finale. The season finale, and then in season 8, mid-season finale, and then the season 8 finale. It wasn't that big of a battle, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Rick is still an awesome character. Liked him from the start, but like I said, he got way better as an actor, especially like season 4, season 5, season 6. Rick Grimes, number 5. Number 4, a character that hasn't been on The Walking Dead since season 2 and should have been on The Walking Dead at least until season 5. The actor, I'm talking about Dale here, played by Jeffrey DeMunn, was a big friend of Frank Darabont. That's why Dale, Jeffrey DeMunn, was actually on The Walking Dead. And once Frank Darabont went, Jeffrey DeMunn wanted to go. So that's why his character was kind of killed off randomly in Judge, Jury, and Executioner. It's a sad death. It's a weak death, too. You get killed by one walker when it just scratches you. Come on. That's got to be like the weakest character in The Walking Dead to get killed that way. But maybe he wasn't expecting it. But I still like Dale. He was a great lookout guy. He did the whole Dale face. He had all the guns. I think he was a little bit too invested on what Shane was doing. It is what it is, though. But I like Dale. I don't know why I really like Dale, but I thought he was one of the best actors from watching The Walking Dead, in my opinion. So, Dale, number 4. Number 3, my top 3. I started watching The Walking Dead in season 2, and this character wasn't on the show. And then I went back and watched season 1 and fell in love with Morgan. I really liked Morgan. Was surprised that he actually lived. Because I thought, okay, he's not on the show in season 2. I'm watching the season 1 premiere. He's got to die in season 1. No, he doesn't die. Then we get him back in clear in season 3. And then we finally get him back in season 5 at the end of we actually get him back in the first episode of season 5, No Sanctuary, as an end credit scene, which I went fucking nuts for. By the way, I popped loud for that shit. I was fucking geeked. Yes, I was. It's true. I wish I would have got that on videotape because that was a legitimate pop. I was like, what the fuck? It's Morgan. I like Morgan. Sometimes Morgan becomes a little bitch when he goes in all life is precious mode. But I kind of like that Morgan too. But when Morgan is a badass, he's a badass. He messes some people up. He's awesome as a character. Not the biggest fan of him on Fear the Walking Dead, but hey, at least Morgan's still around. I expect to see him in The Walking Dead again, possibly, or at least the Walking Dead Rick movies, or the Rick Grimes movies, because he's got to reunite with Rick at least one more time. And he better fucking survive, too. So, Morgan, my number 2. No, my number 3. My top 2 characters. Now, this one surprises me even. When I started watching The Walking Dead in Season 2, I was a big Rick fan. My number 2 is Shane. The more I watch The Walking Dead, the more I think John Bernthal as Shane was a way better character. He was awesome. He was a better actor early on in The Walking Dead, and he stole scenes, in my opinion. And he was just a more interesting character. And I just really like Shane. I wish Shane was still around. Like I alluded to, the part where Shane and Andrea were going to leave in Season 2, I wish they would have left and went on their own and then showed back up alive in the Walking Dead universe. Now, granted, we've got cameos of Shane in Season 3 and Season 9, but obviously he's not alive. He's last I heard, he was supposed to make an appearance in the Rick movies. I don't know if that's still going to happen or not with the whole COVID thing. But the more I watch The Walking Dead, especially on my latest rewatch of The Walking Dead, I really like Shane as a character. I love the part where he's in the cop car with Rick in the Season 9, Episode 5, What Comes After. He's like, how was my baby girl anyway? And it's just hilarious. But Shane, he's awesome. He's my number 2. So, now one character left. I'm sure you know who that is yet, or already know who that is. My number 1 favorite character on The Walking Dead, currently and now, Negan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan steals the show when he's in The Walking Dead. When you first see him, well, because of the cliffhanger, when you second see him, the second episode he's in, you love him and hate him, because he kills Glenn. Well, he killed Abraham, then he killed Glenn, which I think they should have done Abraham's episode, or Abraham kill in 6:16, and then did the Glenn kill in 7:01. But it is what it is. You loved him and hated him. He was funny when he did it, and then gradually he's just improved. He does think to redeem himself. He saved Dog. He saves Judith. He has a great relationship with Judith. I want him and Rick to meet again. I think Negan, Judith, and somebody else should go to the Rick Grimes movies eventually in the final one, however many they're going to make. And they meet up with Rick. And then Judith has to tell Rick, no, Negan, he's good. He's changed. Don't fuck with him, Dad. That'd be awesome. I want to see Rick and Negan be friends. That would be awesome. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I absolutely love Negan as a character on The Walking Dead. I don't think Negan will ever be replaced as my favorite character, especially because we only have 1 season left to go. So, there is my list. Sorry it's a little long. Sorry I kept itching my nose. I don't know why that's happening. It's a little hot now, too. Maybe that has something to do with it. The humidity in here. And my throat's getting a little messed up, too. But, like I said before, if you have a list of your own, please leave that in the comments section. You can do top 5, top 10. If you have 25, great. I'd be happy with that. But I'll comment, or I'll respond to all comments. Smash the like button if you're a fan of The Walking Dead. And last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.